All right then. So, hello there. It's us again. Building off of that last week's video where we went through where I went through a Green Party leaflet. We've now received more leaflets, so we thought, why not kind of represent every leaflet we get through the door. So we're on to Anas Sarwar, who's leader of the Scottish Labour Party. Mark got the same leaflet as me, so yeah, we're just going to go through it, give our initial thoughts. And yeah, kind of critique it a little bit, give it a final grade in the end, and if they've delivered a message that resonates or whatever. So yeah, this is Anas Sarwar, leader of the Scottish Labour Party, fairly recently come into maybe.
Yeah, I mean, only in the last, I think it was last month he was elected in, so they're cutting it fine because obviously the Scottish elections are coming up in May, so it's a very Labour move to try and run a leadership election briefly before a general election. That's pretty standard, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't close. He's very different from the previous Labour Party leader here in Scotland, which was Richard Leonard, I believe, who was very he was a big Corbynite, very, very pro-Corbyn, whereas Anas Sarwar is obviously more in the mould of Keir Starmer. But yes, he is the new leader of Scottish Labour, and we cannot contain our excitement.
Yeah. All right. Would you take it away? You read the first couple of paragraphs until you come across something.
Well, I'm gonna start with the cover page with his adorable little puddum here on the front, which is we have to focus on uniting behind a national recovery plan, and they've got a big old picture of Anas Sarwar himself, and I think they've done this because he's so new. I think they have to basically introduce him because he only became leader like a month ago. I don't know what your feel on that is, but I think they've look how much space they've used because they're like, look, this is actually who this guy even is.
I think also on that, I think I might be reading into this too much, but then the whole thing about now maybe it wasn't so much here up in Scotland, but I know nationally it was like, the Labour Party going into the 2019 election where they were kind of scruffy, they were all kind of leftists, blah de blah. So now we're going to post them on the front page with a nice smart shirt. We're the professional party. We get down to business. We are streamlined and business-like, and I think that might be something that they're trying to project as well. Because I know that right-wing attack point over the last group of Labour leaders.
Look, he can wear a dress shirt, I promise, like kind of thing. Yeah, he's not a communist who wears whatever it is communists wear and scare right-wing leaning people. So.
And I might be reading into this way too much as well. But no, I think I might be reading into this way too much. But you can cut this out.
Put it out there. We can cut it out if it's terrible.
You can cut this out if it's too edgy. However, we see here, there's no reason for it to not be, cut there. However, this view, we see his hands as well. And boom, wedding ring. This is a professional family values, kind of. That might be an added part to it. I don't know. I might be reading into it too much, but I don't see the hands of any of the other people that we're looking at.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. But yeah, so vote. This is the only time I'm going to say this. Vote Scottish Labour on Thursday, the 6th of May. It's not something I think you'll hear coming out of my mouth ever again, but that's all right. That's what it says in the leaflet. So I have to read it. I'm duty bound. So if we open the page here, then we've got a sort of double spread of stuff here. Very text heavy, I must say. Just initially, it looks a bit boring, if I'm honest. But let's dive in and see what he says, and hopefully it's a bit more interesting than it looks. So the last year has been tough on us all. It's a truism, yes. The pandemic has separated us from our families and friends. Also a truism.
Also, yeah.
Despite that, we have come together like never before. Again, a truism, I would agree. Again, we're three sentences in, and okay. We can't come from the collective trauma of COVID and go back to the old arguments. Okay, sure. Let's find out what those arguments were. Arguing with each other while our NHS loses funding. So that's a Conservative Party issue because austerity.
Yeah.
Our children miss out on world-class education. Yeah, a decade of austerity. Our children miss out on world-class education. Okay. Businesses close and jobs go overseas. Well, businesses closing is because of Brexit and COVID, and jobs going overseas is also because of Brexit. Both of which the Labour Party voted with the Tories to approve this Brexit deal. So businesses closing and jobs going overseas. That's what Labour Party voted for. With the Tories, might I add, they backed up the Tory vote on that. The only parties who voted against it were Plaid, the SNP, and the Greens. So Labour are now complaining about something. They're saying, oh well, this is terrible. Well, you voted for it, so I'm already a little bit pissed off. Any thoughts so far on anything that's been said there?
Yeah, and then the other part of business is closing. So with a bit which is just more COVID-19 related. It's just like, they're closed because they, by government diktat. So we should like support them or things like that. It's
and then most businesses have gotten support, so they should come back after obviously lockdown ends.
Yeah, exactly. And then our children miss out on a world-class education. It's like, yeah, but kind of like so is the whole, like a lot of the world, but with the people who dealt with it badly in the first wave. So once again, like, they are missing out on a world-class education, but so is all of Europe's kids. And it isn't through arguing with each other that they've missed out on this, which is I think is important, because he's attributed it to arguing with each other that has underfunded our NHS. No, that is, austerity, a Tory government. Our children missing out on a world-class education is, if he means by them not going to school for a whole year, pretty much, or doing it online, that's purely COVID related, which is kind of out of our control.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're just trying to kind of hit a couple talking points there, but once again, I don't really know. Really, maybe I'm just not understanding exactly what he's trying to say.
Under my leadership of Scottish Labour, we will focus on what unites us as a country, not what divides us. Okay, are we going to talk about right? Okay.
The next sentence.
Right. Yeah, and then so what I would say at that point is, okay, give me some examples. And then the next sentence he says is focusing on uniting our people and helping the nation recover. So he's saying we're going to unite, and we're going to do that by uniting.
And he said it twice in two different ways there, pretty much.
Yeah, well, yeah, he said
we'll focus on what unites us as a country. Next sentence,
focusing on what unites us as a country.
What unites us, unites our people, uniting our people. All right, let's just move on.
I've got nothing to say to that. That is toilet paper.
Shall I do the next bit?
You go for it, mate. I already have a headache.
Yeah. That's why this election must be about delivering a national recovery plan that at its heart is about creating jobs, catching up on education, and rebuilding our NHS. So we never again have to choose between treating a virus or treating cancer. Yeah, once again, creating jobs, how, we all want to focus on creating jobs and catching up on education and rebuilding up, like, I don't know. What is it?
It's so woolly. There's no okay. Yeah. Again, it's all truisms. Yes, we all right. Tell me how or what. Or what have you done in the past? Obviously, doesn't apply to you because you're a new leader, I guess. But how? Tell me. We're now.
And how would you have done it differently if you were in power?
Yeah, exactly. These are just. It's either truisms or ambitions and hopes and dreams. I'm not getting any. The only concrete thing is we should never have to choose between treating a virus and treating cancer, which again is a truism. I agree that shouldn't happen.
That those things were only made because of a once in a century pandemic.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also, not that
it was regularly.
Yeah, it's not that the NHS was, of course, perfect a year and a bit ago when COVID-19 started.
Yeah, I understand what he's going for, and I agree. We should not be in a position where people suffering from cancer should be compromised by having their treatment delayed in a way that prevents them potentially from beating cancer, because no one wants that. That's terrible.
Exactly. No, exactly. And then the next sentence is only a strong Scottish Labour Party can deliver this change for you.
What
Wow.
change?
What
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 change?
what have you said previously that would lead us to believe that only you can?
Yeah, but no, what's the change as well? He's not said what the change is. He's not
Yeah,
said
he
I'm
hasn't
going to
defined
change
anything.
X, Y, and Z. There's no change. He just said
Mm.
this election must be about delivering a recovery plan. Okay, what does that mean? Creating
Yeah.
jobs, catching up on education, rebuilding our NHS. Well, but all the parties are offering those things. So what makes you different, and how is that a change from
How's
what
that
was happening
change?
before?
Yeah, yeah, literally. And then, only using both your votes for Scottish Labour can you ensure we deliver a parliament that focuses on what our families and communities need. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you haven't defined anything, dude. You know,
No, exactly. I mean, I don't. I'm not
and,
impressed.
and you haven't, and you haven't said why like you just said, you haven't said why you're an exceptional
Yeah.
stand candidate at all in any way. You just said pandemic was hard. We were arguing with each other, and things are bad. We need unity. We need unity. We need a recovery plan. I guess he's going to get into the recovery plan because we can see it on the next
Yeah.
page. But apart from that, and then we shouldn't have to treat cancer, and no, we shouldn't have to pick between the virus and cancer and things like that. So it's like, you're saying things which are just generally agreeable, but you're not really kind of defining why you're special. But maybe who knows? We don't know yet. Maybe on the
We'll
following
see.
page where it says our national recovery plan, maybe all will be revealed and we will all leave Labour voters.
Exactly. He's gonna blow my socks off. I can see it coming. He's gonna dazzle my little socialist brain. And
yeah, he's gonna exactly.
I'm gonna flock to Labour, just like the socialist inside of me has always wanted to do.
Exactly. Let's do it. So our national recovery plan is as follows. At this election, Scottish Labour is setting out the fresh ideas that can help Scotland recover in a fairer way. So I'm assuming he's about to set out the fresh ideas. Emphasis on
Good.
fresh. All right. So the jobs recovery, guaranteeing a job for every young Scot by investing in a national training fund and a business restart fund. Now, I think Mark wants to come in here because that doesn't sound too dissimilar from an SNP policy.
Yeah, I think that's literally an SNP policy, but the SNP's gone into more detail because I think the SNP is guaranteeing either a job, higher education, so university, or an apprenticeship. And they've also laid out the funding as well. So they've actually said, well, we're going to allocate X amount of money and how we're going to structure that as well. So I mean, I like it as an idea. I think it's important. I think the young have been hammered the most during COVID, so we need to do these things. So yeah, tell me more. Explain to me how that's different from what the SNP and the Greens are offering. Would be my what does right? Okay, so what is the National Training Fund and what is a Business Restart Fund and how does give me another sentence maybe just to say by which we will do X or Y or invest in whatever. Is that giving grants to small businesses to bring on a trainee staff member? Is that by giving large organizations tax breaks to incentivize recruitment? Or are you going to actually give a grant to businesses no matter what to say, look, here is, if you bring on a young person, we'll pay half the salary? What's being offered? I don't understand.
Exactly.
Give me detail.
Yeah, exactly. Why is jobs recovery? Yes, we're going to invest in the National Training Fund. Yeah, but what does that mean? What am I voting for here? This is supposed to be what I'm voting for. You could even throw in minimum wage arguments in there. Is that something you're moving in the investing in young, investing in every young Scot? I mean, there's nothing disagreeable about that, but once again,
no detail.
So funding our NHS to get cancer treatment back on track, improve mental health, and give carers the pay they deserve. So now I'm interested here, because what is the pay that carers deserve? Are they supporting the 4% pay rise that the NHS have that the SNP have put forward? Are they supporting the 15% pay rise the Northern Independence Party has put forward? Are they, or is the pay that carers deserve the 1% that the Tories are putting forward? He hasn't defined there.
No commitment.
Yeah, this is so they can't be nailed down to this. It means that Yeah, like we want that, but it's deliberately vague so that they don't have to, they don't have to commit to anything. This is,
Yeah.
both things are just like, oh, this is a good idea. But how much do carers how much pay do do carers deserve?
Yeah.
I would have thrown out a
Okay.
figure there because you throw out a tasty figure there. That's a
Yeah.
vote. That's a
So
vote
if,
win.
say the SNP's committed to 4,
So you said
make it
6.
6. Yeah, exactly. And but the SNP's also said we're gonna nationalise the care service and run it like the NHS, so it's fairer and more equitable.
Hmm.
So again, you're not even doing something as ambitious as what the other main left wing party in Scotland is offering, because
Mm.
they not only have the SNP offered concrete detail, they've also gone beyond because they want to nationalise the care service. I don't see Labour, which apparently is supposed to be pro-nationalisation. That's not. They're not offering that. So
Mm.
why would I vote for this? Seems like the discount version, just like
Mm.
the green recovery or this jobs recovery scheme seems like the discount version with less detail.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, funding our NHS. Everyone wants to fund the NHS. Get
Yeah,
cancer treatment back. Everyone is pro cancer treatment.
yeah,
Improve mental health. Everyone wants to improve mental health and give
yeah,
carers the pay they deserve. Vague. So like on
yeah,
all of those things, it's like, dude, I want to be with you here. How many billions are you going to throw at the
yeah.
NHS? Now, I'm sure you've got
What
a
does this
figure.
mean?
I'm sure you've got economists within your party and things like that thinking
Yeah.
about figures. Yeah,
So
how are you gonna?
tell us.
Yeah, are you gonna improve waiting times for cancer
Yeah,
patients? Yeah, we're gonna cut waiting times in half.
half.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a policy position. Improve mental health. We're going to invest 50 million or however
yeah.
in mental health services. Whereas this is just improve. It isn't. It doesn't even
It
say invest. It just said
doesn't
we're going to
even
make it
say.
better.
Yeah,
That
no, it
isn't.
doesn't say
That isn't
anything.
even a financial commitment. That just means
No.
like, well, just means that we can hire some middle managers, make it more efficient, and give it no, potentially because he
Yeah,
hasn't signed it.
yeah.
And
That's
then
only.
I've banged on about the give carers pay they deserve enough. So I
Yeah.
won't say that again. But once again, it's like, come on.
What's the bits between those
Yeah.
particular tag words?
What is the
There's
fine
nothing.
details that
Yeah,
make those policies
yeah,
actual that you can bring and that can make the Labour Party deliver this change? Because you
yeah.
haven't specified the change
No,
that you're saying
no,
you need both votes to deliver.
no, exactly.
I mean,
Give us, and I get it's a small leaflet, but give me something. You say, oh, that's interesting. That's ambitious. That's radical. Because all you're doing is listing things that everyone agrees with. Education recovery, developing a catch-up plan which invests in schools and ensures IT support in every primary and secondary school.
yeah, what do we think of that?
Again, just on the face of this, the SNP's committed to giving every secondary school student a laptop. They're committing to IT support in every primary and secondary school. I'm pretty
Once
sure
again.
primary and secondary schools already have IT support services.
And
So it's
what does IT support even
does that
mean?
even
Does
mean?
that mean
Oh, you're on the bell to India. Like, hello,
that,
yes, my computer's not working. What does that even mean? IT support.
yeah. Well, yeah, what does that mean?
What year are we in?
What does that mean? I mean, IT support, but I'm sure. Okay, people might criticize us being overcritical. I don't think we're being overcritical,
I
but
don't think
that
we
might
are.
that might be a criticism thrown at us. But what do they mean there? And that is anything but a solid policy. IT support. Whereas, like Mark said, the SNP we're committed to giving every student a laptop, or or you remember the Labour Party of 2019. We want free Wi-Fi for every home, or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Those are policies. Those are Those are goals. Those are things to shoot for. Whereas IT support,
I don't
I mean,
even
it's
know.
just so vague. It could mean anything. It could mean anything to do with IT.
I don't think they've thought about
Yeah.
this, let alone they're like, shit, we need something for education. What do they have in schools? Computers, quick, IT support. Yeah, put that in there. Climate recovery, investing in green jobs and seizing Scotland's hosting of the COP26 to champion an ambitious climate justice plan. What is the climate justice plan would be my first suggestion. If you're going to mention what I work in the environmental sector, so I want to know. I also know that the Greens and the SNP are much stronger on climate issues than Labour. So what is your ambitious climate justice plan? How does it stand out from the other left-wing parties in Scotland who actually have a very strong track record because they're in coalition government together? Maybe give me a bullet point below explaining even slightly does that mean investing in communities to make sure that communities don't feel the impact, or deprived communities don't feel the impact of climate change worse than richer areas, or what does?
It's just catchphrases. Investing in green jobs. Yeah. Okay. What green jobs? We're going to invest in how many green jobs?
Yeah.
With how much?
Yeah.
Then the climate justice plan. What climate justice plans? Are we going to be carbon neutral by when? Are we going to be 100% renewable by when? Once again, it's just
Scotland's already got a net zero commitment under the current Scottish government that we're well on course to meeting. So what are we going to do it quicker under Labour? What seizing Scotland's hosting of COP26 to champion this? I mean, that's literally what COP26 is for. So you're saying we're going to use the thing that's there to do the thing we want to. Okay.
We're going to use the COP26 to do what we're supposed to do at the COP26, which is about being ambitious on climate.
And then lastly, community recovery, creating a community recovery fund to invest in local areas and make our communities safer and stronger. Again, that's
strong and stable.
Yeah. What is that? Safer and stronger by investing in more police, or opening youth centres, or
reducing crime by
having more drug rehabilitation units, or what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything if you don't give any examples to me. How am I supposed to know? Make our communities safer and stronger. That doesn't mean anything.
Everybody wants safer and stronger communities.
Yeah. That's like saying, do you like pudding? It's like, yeah, I like pudding, but what pudding? How? Is it because I don't like some types of pudding?
Just tell
Spoon feed it to me like I'm a fucking baby, because I'm trying to work out who to vote for. Explain to me.
You're not making this easy for me, Labour. You're not making this easy. It looks like they've just done focus groups and like polling on particular, and just kind of what people care about: jobs, NHS, education, climate, community. We're not going to specify anything about them, but we know they're what people care for. So we're going to put them out there and not actually really give a policy position on any one of those 5 things. But they're good catchphrases and people care about them, so we'll put them in our leaflet. And these are all good things. They're all things I agree with. But just, dude, come up with a damn policy position.
Give me something. Give me something.
With the Green Party leaflet I went through, at least we had free bus travel, blah, blah, blah. Minimum wage. We had investing in infrastructure specifically, bailing out, calling for a bailout to reopen libraries and leisure centres. Why don't you chuck that into making communities safer and stronger?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, and just the one example of the free bus travel, that disproportionately impacts lower income people, which is excellent because they're the people you want to be giving these incentives to, and it helps combat climate issues because obviously public transport is better than everyone sitting in cars. So that's 2 birds, one stone with one policy, one example. They've not given with one example. The Green Party's given a concrete policy with outcomes you can actually fucking imagine and tangibly go, yeah, I can see. They've not even in one example. The Greens have done more than this whole leaflet. A better future for Scotland at the end. Okay, sure. What does that mean? What does a better future for Scotland mean? I don't know because you won't tell me.
Yeah, you haven't actually demonstrated or come up with a single policy that would make me lead to be like, oh, that's a way we could make Scotland better.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you haven't defined anything. You haven't come out for, you just come out vaguely for things. You haven't actually come up with policy positions. And this is about policy positions. So yeah, I must say I'm a bit disappointed with that. And as someone who's going into this election who's literally what do you call it, a swing vote, not a swing voter, but a voter who's out there, undecided voter, I'm a bit that I haven't found that too convincing. And this would be a kind of party that, I mean, historically probably I've agreed with. I'm not sure if I really agree with them now, but of that well, allegedly they're on the right side of the the spectrum that I would agree with, but I'm a bit uninspired.
I like ice cream. It's like, yes, good.
Just give me a little bit of detail, and I don't think we're being a bit like, what do you call it, like pernickety or whatever, in just wanting a little bit of detail in why we should give you both of our votes.